Good afternoon and welcome to some The Bus. Today we are taking a look at the recently updated Hamburg and seeing what's going on over there. I don't know how well I'll be able to. I think I need to rotate this. I don't know how well I'll be able to acknowledge the additions because I've driven here like 3 or 4 times tops and it's been quite a while. But nonetheless, I'm excited for it, and hopefully it should be a good one. We'll kick it off with line 17, which is the lengthy one, and then we'll have a go with the rest of the lines. Decided I'll be driving the Solaris today. I do have a mod to actually brand this, but interesting number plate, but that is potentially incompatible with this version of the game, which is the full release. So I can only assume that's more so for the beta version of the game. So we're going to do this one, like I said. I believe we'll be starting from the new section, so that's going to be cool. Then we've got 2-1. I'm going to try and see what doesn't fall in line with what we have. I'd love to if there was like a map on this page and you can actually like see the lines on the map. But I think, yeah, we'll start with line 17. We'll do some line 218. I think I'll leave 277. I think I'll leave 617 as well. Also, I don't know if there is any chat, but I'm not seeing it because I need to log into Streamlabs. For some reason, I need to do this manually now. I didn't used to need to do so. All right, there we go. Now we've got our chat. Move this up here as well. Cool. Now we're good. Brilliant. Cool. So we'll do 17, 218, whatever it was. 6 is looking pretty decent as well. Little half an hour run there. 7. I can't click. Why can't I click? Okay, I think I can click now. 7, not really. And then we're back at 17. Okay. Enough. A decent amount to do. A decent amount to do. We'll synchronize date and time. And we'll get started. I wonder if the synchronizing weather... Hello, Dan. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Welcome. I wonder if the weather synchronization is only for Berlin or if it does it for Hamburg as well. I wouldn't be mad if it was just for Berlin. I mean, it's close enough, I guess. But it would be nice if it was specific to where you are. I believe this is the work of a mod. I do like that extra detail. Let's get in, get the engine started. While the computer loads up, we'll do the usual. Set the lights on, USB on, hill holder on, air conditioning. I don't think I need to do much else. I'll set this to 21. And then that should be about it. Here's an outside view of what we'll be driving today. At least for this one. I might drive this for the whole day, I don't know. Environment wise, I don't know what building that is on the right, but that looks very cool. Thing is, like, the environment is just done very well generally in the game. 4598 is our pin. We're doing line 17, tour 05. And let's get started, man. Door should be open already. It is indeed. Hello. You're good? That's good to hear. Still didn't get this DLC seem expensive. Maybe you'll be convinced today. I think with the general pricing in games today, it's very hard for me to recommend full price. I'm currently working on a video review of Running Train, which I've finished recording it. I'm just doing the B-roll and the footage and stuff like that. And I'm probably going to try and find some background like music. But I finished saying what I said on that. And I actually recommended that as it was full price. I didn't specify that, but I didn't mention a sale or like anything else, which I would usually do for like TSW DLCs, for example. Whoops. But this, both game and DLC for me are in the usual, wait for a sale, or if you can get it from a third party site, you might be better off doing that as well. Oh no, sorry, tell a lie. We're starting from our usual location. But anywho, at the end of the day, I think it's up to you, right? All I can do is give you my opinion, but I can never really advise you and tell you what to do. So if you like what you see and you think it's worth the money, go for it, man. I think it's a really nice DLC. The only thing I think it doesn't have on Berlin is, and this is probably it's understandable, right? It's probably the safer option. But one thing this doesn't have on Berlin is the TML audacity to just not give a toss about copyright. And so whereas in Berlin you'll be driving and you'll be seeing like actual shops and stores, Hamburg tends to be a lot more safe, and you'll get like fake names and stuff. But aside from that, for me it's a great DLC. The only other issue I would say I have with it personally is it's very limited in terms of the routes. Like you just saw, there was a ton of different routes, ton of different lines you can drive, but 17 is really the only big one, and then the second longest is half an hour. So it's not as varied in terms of long driving as Berlin, but again, still a very good experience nonetheless. And I would recommend it if I had to, but probably on a sale, if anything. Hello, Nabil. Why does the game look so grey? Due to a combination of the cloudiness in the game, the overcast weather, and a mod that I've installed to... the mod redoes the colours a little bit. It makes things a bit more neutral, so nothing's super bright. I had it on last time I played. No one really noticed. Excited by the Citaro. The e-Citaro, or are we getting like the regular one? I refunded Running Train because as amazing as it is, I know I'll get bored very fast. Try getting an extension and passengers come. Yeah, that's completely valid, man. Put the money in Nordic Horizons. That's completely valid. Nordic Horizons is... it's not without its flaws. It's not without its flaws, in my opinion. I will say that it is subjective. But yeah, I do feel Running Train has very limited playtime for right as it is right now. I'm curious to see, a month after release, how many players are actually still playing it. For now, having only played like 10 hours of it, it's still, I can still have a good 2-3 hours session on it and not be bored. But I am sort of aware of like the reality that, okay, this is only going to last so long. Or it may just stay fun, I don't know. Hello, IOW. When is this out on console? It currently is out on console. However, if you're talking specifically the Hamburg DLC, there's no release date for that as of yet. As a Tara that's using a stolen dashboard from OMSI. Hey, listen, if it's going to use a stolen dashboard from anywhere, I would rather OMSI than anywhere else. Hopefully it also uses stolen physics and sounds as well from OMSI. Don't think anyone would complain about that. There's no game sound. Why is there no game sound? As per usual, no one said anything. That is fabulous. Of course, I took the thing out. Plugged it back in. You got Nordic Horizons mainly to get the latest pro. Ah, okay. See, now when you suffix it with that, I have no reservations. I don't think I have. Yeah, no, I haven't explored pro mods yet with the Nordic Horizons installed. The thing is, when new DLC comes out, though, I'll be honest, I don't know how much pro mods is going to add these days. Like back in the day, it's a big difference, big difference between SCS content and pro mods content in terms of quality. But with SCS quality, most of the time, rivaling like pro mods content, I feel like you won't see as drastic. The changes that you'll see from pro mods won't be as drastic as they once used to be. Hello, Mr. Irishman. How you doing, boss man? I've seen there's an old school Star comment when I ride in to this day. Enjoy it, man. One thing I do wish we had in London, as weird as it may sound, are just like slightly older buses. It's nice riding in a fast, modern, air-conditioned electric bus, but I don't know, man. Sometimes I just want a little taster of what used to be, you know? I'm also sad that I never really got to experience bendy buses. Oh, sorry, articulated buses. Call them bendy buses here. Because, they bend. Good but busy, Dan? Good. Hope it's a constructive, productive, busy. Australia 1.59 and promo is required, not the Horizon. Don't want to go back to an older version. That's completely fair. Although, at this point, with SCS seemingly going back to their new update every 2 weeks schedule, it's going to keep you busy staying up to date, man. I think I'll be a 1.59 for a while after 1.6 comes out. Well, I don't know. Maybe it just depends on how quickly modders can release content. I was meant to make the stream 60 again and I keep forgetting. Flipping hell. I actually remembered as I was changing my title, I think. And then it just... Your OCD's killing you, bro. Oh, man. You just have to ignore it. You just have to ignore it. I think it was when... Was it 1.53 that I stayed on for like 4 or 5 versions? I don't know. There was a version that I just stayed on because it got to a point where SES were just releasing and releasing and releasing and releasing and releasing, and I was keeping up with it. And I just couldn't be bothered after a while. It just got a bit ridiculous. And then when I stayed and refused to upgrade or update, that was now when they decided to slow down.
Nächste Haltestelle, Domstraße.
Only thing I don't like about this extension is that they've made up, for some reason they couldn't use the real depot, so they created a fictional one for economy mode purposes. They didn't really give much more information than we couldn't do it. Weird choice.
Nächste Haltestelle.
I really do wonder what the limitations were. That it got to the point where they were forced to add something fictional on a 1-to-1 scale map. I can only imagine they were quite severe. Bendy buses because they bend. I mean, it's a no-brainer, innit? Like where does articulated come from? Like what do you mean articulated? The only articulated I know is, oh, you when you speak, you speak in an articulated manner, you articulate yourself well. Why does it apply to buses? It should only apply to people. My game's frozen. Okay, we're back. That was weird. ETS2 is not really good. This day without mods, and SES ruining mods every 2 weeks is bad. Yeah, I'm surprised by now. Like they're very open about like being completely fine and content with mods. But I'm surprised they haven't found a way yet to make modding and new game versions work together in a more aligned manner. So if you're someone like who I used to be, using 170 plus mods, it's a real pain in the backside. A real pain in the backside. And now I just can't be bothered anymore to do that. Also, don't agree with this announcing of DLCs and not delivering for almost a year. Almost a year? For almost a year? Let's not talk about the infamous Russia DLC. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I guess when you consider that they do tend to regularly update the community on those DLCs, it's not too bad. Like, it's not like they announce a DLC and then just say nothing about it. You don't see any pictures, you don't see any videos, you don't hear any news or information until it's 2 weeks away from releasing. I think that would be terrible. It can get frustrating waiting and waiting and waiting, especially for something like coaches, for example, or the cars. I feel like if it's like a map DLC, then it's not that deep. Because we have enough in the game to keep us company. But when you're talking about these major changes, I think it's a completely different ballgame. My performance sucks today, by the way. It's quite bad. I don't know why. I low-key feel like it had something to do with that long stutter. console treatment. Let's not even go into consoles, man, because that was a huge announcement, huge announcement. And now on every single social media post, whether it's on their own blog, whether it's on Instagram, consoles went. Like, you've opened up the door to that nastiness, man. If they would record sounds properly in the first place, only be a need for sound mods, for example. But here's what I don't understand. They do record them properly. Or it seems like they do. They'll go there with their professional... The hell was that? They go there with their professional equipment. They'll make a whole article. They'll record a video. This is what we did. This is how we did it. You see all the details. And then it comes to putting it in the game. And it's like, well, hold on a second. What happened to that recording session that you guys did? There's no evidence of it. And then you'll get a random, maybe not random in the community, but nonetheless, a random mod creator that will just come and just blow SES out of the water. Like, how? You don't have access to the in-house equipment. You had access to the entire truck, inside, outside, acceleration, reversing, idling, engine start, all of these things. And some random person comes along and outdoes you. It's an interesting one.
Nächste Haltestelle, Hauptbahnhof Kirchenallee. Übergang zu allen U- und S-Bahn-Linien, den Regionalverkehrslinien.
The Russian DLC is political, but I agree with it, especially after last week how the Russian drone explode. Unresidential. Do you agree with it? Why, Dan? What and how is it political? It has nothing to do with politics until SES made it political. It's a DLC for a game. It has nothing to do with politics. The income that SES would have made from that DLC, we're not going to go into Putin's pockets. It was not political at all. SES made it. Made it political.
Moin. Hallo.
Still stressing, but it is what it is. Don't say it is what it is, Dan. Go and take a breather. Stay hydrated. Go have a walk. Refresh your mind, man. Don't let it become foggy and overclouded. Romania just exposed the Russian ambassador. So bye-bye diplomacy here as well. I really don't like this performance. What's happening today? It's usually pretty good. They're not allowed to sell it in Russia. I'm not aware. I wasn't aware of that. But isn't that even more of a reason to not take it off? Because if there was the worry that they feel like they'd be doing it for the Russian people or the country itself, which they're not, then it means that the Russians can't get any of it. So that's even more of a reason to not hold it back. I don't think there's any argument that would make sense for why they would hold the DLC back because of the war. I don't think I can be convinced otherwise. So does that mean that as I'm playing on the Rus map mod, for example, for ETS2, I'm supporting Russia, or Russia are, or Putin even himself is benefiting from me sitting in my room in London enjoying driving around Russia virtually. Does that make me an opposition to Ukraine because I'm driving around in Russia in Euro Truck Simulator 2? It's ridiculous. It's hard to see it. Like, we do actually cannot go to the Danube Delta because of the war. A natural drone exploded on a flat full of people at night. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm not agreeing with Russia at all. That's a whole different conversation. We can go into that at another time. But what does any of that have to do with selling a Russian map in a game? You see Rosmappers promoting Russia. That's crazy to me, man. That's so crazy to me. So, Euro Truck Simulator is promoting France, and it's promoting Germany, and it's promoting Spain, and it's promoting Portugal. Sorry, not Portugal. Is it Portugal DLC, or is that just pro mods? It's promoting Spain, it's promoting Poland. All the countries that are in are being promoted. So is the UK being promoted by Train Sim Worlds with the upcoming West Coast mainline route as well? That doesn't make any sense to me. Is Hamburg being promoted? Because it's in the bus and I'm driving around in it. I don't feel support for Germany as I'm playing this. I don't feel that I'm in support of their political agendas. I'm simulating driving a bus in Hamburg. In Euro Truck, I'll be simulating driving a truck in Russia. At no point driving through Russia am I going to think to myself, I support this country's political decisions. I support funding this country's military spending. Like, how does Rosmap promote Russia? If I was to create a detailed London map before Pro Mods did it for ETS2, would I be promoting London? If I create a Moroccan map before Pro Mods Maghreb, I'd be promoting Morocco? How? It doesn't have anything to do with promoting a country. And I think it's a choice to see it that way. At its very core, it's a game. It's just a game. It's a map in a game. If you want to make it political, you absolutely can make it political. One can look at Forza Horizon 6 and say, look, this game's promoting speeding. Oh, for fuck's sake. This game's promoting speeding and street racing within city limits. That's not on. Someone can choose to see it like that. Someone could choose to have an issue with the entire franchise of Need for Speed for that exact same reason. Or you can just enjoy it as a fun racing game, you know? Like, it's a choice. And I think to choose to see it that particular way, I think you're just doing it to yourself. I was watching on TikTok earlier today, in court, a woman arguing that men that say that they're women are allowed to take pregnancy, like they're allowed to have pregnancy like benefits, like the same benefits for pregnancy that a woman would have. And the judge and the guy kept asking the woman, can a man get pregnant? And she would go on this waffle, and then he'd ask again, can a man get pregnant? She'd start waffling, and then he'd ask again, can a man get pregnant? And she would do everything but like avoid the question. Why can't I close this? What's going on here? What's going on with my PC? And I think it's absolutely within a choice to see something a particular way or make something that it's not. And I think this is a perfect example of that. I don't drive when Pro Mods Middle East brought Israel into the game. I didn't feel like I was supporting Israel driving through Israel. I didn't feel like I was doing Palestine a disservice. Again, that's a whole different conversation. But hypothetically speaking, I didn't feel like I was doing Palestine a disservice by driving to Israel in Euro Truck. If I wanted to see it that way, I could, but I didn't need to. I didn't need to at all. Pardon me. I'm gonna remove this. I think this is for Berlin only. This is the one that built better light and immersion. That's what I'm using to make everything more neutral. I think everything else should be fine. It's only that one that was the problem. Hopefully, performance should be better as well. I wonder if it had anything to do with all of those, to do anything with all of those stutters. Hello, Carter. How you doing, man? So did they remove ATS because the USA is in a war as well? SES made it political. That's it. That's it. And games will usually say we're not involved, you're not involved, you're not involved. You made yourself, it's involved because it suits you. You decided to specifically support one side in your game. You could have done that privately in your personal life. But you made it so that we're not going to sell Russia and we're going to create Ukrainian paint jobs to make money for Ukraine. You've chosen to become very political. Very, very, very political. You've made it very, very clear that you support a particular side of a war. Whether it's a popular choice or not. Trying to tell a customer about a fix that has been implemented, but I'm not getting the right information from the test track team. Just writing what I believe the way it works. So little info. You do what you can, Irish Dan. You do what you can, bro. What you can't do, innit? Like, you know, if you're gonna stress about it, you're just doing it to yourself at that point. If there is anything within your power that you can do, you do it. Like inform, you know, whoever needs to get their butt in gear, that they need to get their butt in gear. And that's it, really. I give everyone their receipts now. I'm not taking any chances.
Eine Fahrkarte bitte. Könnte ich das mit meinem Handy zahlen? Vielen Dank.
Can we blade the Omzi Schnitzel.exe? It's absolutely not assigned to play Omzi. Absolutely not. Somehow, as bad as the performance is today that I'm experiencing, it's not as bad as Omzi. I think that speaks within itself. The whole world made everything Russian political. There's also an embargo. It's not just SES. I mean, yeah, we can go into the wider topic, and it's a big topic, but specifically talking about SES and games. So is Trans-Siberian Railway Sim now expected to take itself off the market? Or was it that when I bought it in support of Putin? If a game was like political and actually had a genuine political agenda, then absolutely there's no argument to be made there. But if a game just happens to have Russia or any other country or state in the game, and that country does something bad or wrong, it's got nothing to do with the game. I'm sorry you're going through that, Irish Dan. I know it can be frustrating, man. The hardest thing to work with is people. We see it as a military invasion, killing civilians and affecting our country also. Some of that affected by Iran and Palestine, like I said, it would not be by Russia and Ukraine.
Nächste Haltestelle, Paulinenstraße.
I strongly believe if I was like you're making a valid point, you're coming from a valid angle, but talking from an unbiased standpoint, not supporting anybody, not unsupporting anybody, just not being involved at all. Politics doesn't have a place in games, and it's wrong for developers to force their political views in their games. Same way it would be wrong to force their religious views in games. Same way it'd be wrong to force their like sexual beliefs in games. Feel free to save that quote, Calder. I've been saying that for as long as I've been playing. No, let me be careful with my words here. Since the performance improved in the bus, I've been saying that, and I stand by that wholeheartedly with my chest. Come at me. Here's an interesting thought. Would SCS have taken down Russia if they released it before the war? That is an interesting thought. I guess we'll never know. Doesn't really mean anything, innit? We'll never know, man. If I had to suspect anything, it would be that SES maybe feared public scrutiny because everyone was against Russia. That was the time when countries were kicking Russians out and like all of that stuff was going on. And it was very much at the forefront of world news. So did they feel like they were going to get backlash for selling that DLC? I don't know. What they also could have done if they did sell the Russian DLC is the money they made from it, they could have donated to Ukraine if they wanted to support Ukraine. So that way you don't hold content from players. You don't engage your political beliefs into the game. And you still do what you deem as good in your eyes. I don't think anyone has a problem with donating to those in need. SES would not take the chance of backlash. I think it's that simple. I risk it. Maybe they also have public funds like companies in Germany. They are not allowed. I can't speak on being allowed or not allowed. I don't know. I don't know information to that degree. But yeah, I think there at least was a very good chance that they did it out of fear.
Nächste Haltestelle, Michaeliskirche.
I do like these Mercedes pickups, you know. I see them every now and again. I mean, they're very much just Nissan, a Nissan pickup with Mercedes branding. But I think it's very cool. Sad that Mercedes never did anything further with them. To my knowledge.
Guten Tag.
I think it's also worth noting, Dan, in terms of considering buying this DLC, I am using mods. I'm using mods for the vehicles. I'm using mods for the lighting, certain sounds as well. Nothing for the environment though, which I think would be the main thing that you're looking at. And the line itself. I'm using the default timetables. Everyone's speeding.
Nächste Haltestelle, Domstraße.
This part of the world is heavily affected by Russia and US South for ages. Remains always threatened by Russia. We moved the capital to the south of the country because of Russia. So if you've got a personal issue with Russia, or Romania as a whole has a personal issue with Russia due to a certain history, it's completely understandable that there's a certain feeling towards Russia. So on a personal level, it's completely understandable. And you're within your right to feel, those particular feelings. And it'd be understandable as to why anything that has Russia written on it, or that represents Russia in any way, would be hated, basically. But it doesn't have a place in games. Like, if you, because of that particular history, don't want any part of a Russian piece of content for a game, that's completely understandable. Completely understandable. Same way, like I said before with my example of Israel and Palestine. Somebody from Palestine playing ETS2 may not want any part of Israel in their mods. But it doesn't mean that Israel shouldn't exist in a particular game.
Nächste Haltestelle, Sperrsort.
It's hard to be objective in any matter. Objective meaning like unbiased, right? In which case, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It just depends on your personal experiences and views. And other stuff as well. Influences and social circles. Why did that BMW also stop? Bro, I wanted to be a victim so bad. That car was not in your way. Don't get the currently Irishman starting this conversation. Angry Irishman. It's probably for the better you stay out of it, Irish Stan. You got enough on your plate already as it is. Yeah, that's completely valid. Yeah. You're allowed to say you agree with it. I mean, and you can agree. You can actually agree with it as well, of course. I'm not telling people not to buy or play Russian stuff. Yeah, you know, that's completely valid. Again, like you stated before, I'm talking from the point of view of not being involved in that situation at all.
Nächste Haltestelle, Jakobikirchhof.
I guess, you know, ultimately it is a subjective matter. Where's that Martini liveried Porsche meant to be? Not Porsche, Audi meant to be. Guess everybody's unbiased about something, or biased. Yeah, it's usually one or the other. Usually how the world goes. Are we about to crash again, or is this another stutter? I'm lucky hoping it's a crash so I can use it as an excuse to remove all my mods and see if that helps performance a bit. Ah, I think I know what it is. My KVM is disconnecting and reconnecting my keyboard and mouse, and every time it does that, it freezes the game for some reason, like earlier when I couldn't change the timetable. Very annoying that it does that. I will never use Vodafone in incapacity ever again in my life because of beef with them. What was the beef, may I ask?
Nächste Haltestelle, Hauptbahnhof Steintordamm. Übergang zu allen U- und S-Bahn-Linien, den Regionalverkehrslinien und zur Fernbahn. Next stop, Hauptbahnhof. Please change here for Central Station.
You couldn't wait to tell me, huh? Let's hear it. 5 years ago, I used to own a flat in a new residential complex in Bucharest.
Hallo.
I had a contract for internet and TV with one company.
Hi. Ich hätte gern einen Fahrschein.
I'm the owner of the residential complex. I decided to literally cut everyone's cable and he made an exclusive contract with Vodafone to be the monopoly of internet and TV there. 12,000 apartments. Wow. That's a dickhead move, man. Would Vodafone have been aware
Hauptbahnhof Kirchenallee.
of everyone
Übergang zu
being
allen U- und
cut off from their internet
Regionalverkehrslinien
that way?
und zur Fernbahn. Next stop, Hauptbahnhof. Please change here for Central Station.
And I did not have internet TV for 12 days until the state intervened. That's crazy. What was the result of the intervention? Did they like stop that monopoly or? Could it not have been that the owner of the complex maybe worded the contracts in such a way that Vodafone were unaware as to the reality of it? I'm playing it, devil's advocate here a little bit. Vodafone gathered every single firm on 100 kilometer square miles per fiber in 2 weeks. Okay. So it did seem to be something that it is quite difficult for them to not have knowledge of this situation. You know what? That's completely valid, man. I was thinking, okay, maybe like this is like, an experience where, you went to the Vodafone shop and then, an employee treated you like crap. But no, this is like actually a company thing. Like the entire company. One of their bosses bought a villa in that complex a few months before. That's so wild, man. Why did they think that they were going to get away with it? What is going on over here, by the way? Traffic is just going crazy there. I did not touch those parked cars. I could see it very clearly in my mirror.
Nächste Haltestelle, Gorlitzstraße.
Yeah, performance is not great, man. I'll be honest, performance is not great. But it was completely fine before. So is it a mod that's been updated? Because I'm using the exact same mods I was using before. Or is it this extension?
Benötige ein Ticket. Können Sie mir bitte eine Quittung geben?
It automatically gave them a receipt. I didn't press it that time. It would be the one time I don't press it that I get asked for it. So annoying that they don't ask for it in the beginning. Problem was the complex owner was Turkish and he did not understand an ounce of democracy. Corrupt as it may be here. Out of 12 days, they had a huge fine and lawsuit that I don't know how it ended. Both Vodafone and the complex limited so much to link to the apartments. Doing it had 100 subscriptions. I'd be very curious to see how that lawsuit ended. With how often companies just get away with everything, I'd be very curious how this one ended.
Nächste Haltestelle, AK St. Georg.
Maybe it would be one of those things that it's better that you don't dig into it. Because of the disappointment that would come with the outcome.
Guten Tag.
Hallo.
Ich benötige einen Fahrschein.
Why is this happening? You know, Unreal Engine is it's so crap at informing you of what exactly went wrong. Whether it's TSW, whether it's this, like, tell me what went wrong, bruv. How am I gonna know how to fix the issue if you don't tell me what went wrong? It's so silly. Oh wow, the game actually closed fairly quickly. Right, let's remove all the mods. Just play it vanilla. I do, Nabil. I do. Now we'll see how badly the lighting is. Yes. I mean, then corporations are going to corporate, you know? Like, they're going to try what they can. If they find a loophole, if they find a crack in the system, they're going to abuse it. Although there was neither in this situation and they still went for it.
Hallo, eine Fahrkarte bitte.
I really don't want to play this without mods. The Turkish said that he did the construction for fiber optics to pass through, and he demanded money from firms. He actually did not know it was illegal to sell homes here without comms infrastructure. Screw Vodafone the same as Russia. No, that's completely valid, man. Completely valid. How do we know the Turkish man wasn't lying all along? They can be sneaky. Turks can be very, very sneaky and cheeky. Similar to like Albanians. Albanians can be very cheeky as well with how they get by in the system. Doesn't look too different. Well, the colors are a lot more... Ouch. I don't know if that makes sense. Especially like the greens, the yellows. It's like I've maxed out the brightness in the game. Yeah, bleach. Yeah. There you go. So you can see it. You can see the difference. Performance is better. I'll say that much.
Nächste Haltestelle, Paulinenstraße.
But would I rather a smooth game that I don't enjoy, or a game I do enjoy that's not very smooth? Now what you get, what you get is what you see is what you get, Dan. In its entirety. We had a pitchfork meeting and I recorded him personally when he said they cut all the existing actual cables. It's his infrastructure and firms refuse to pay him. I know. I don't doubt that he said that. But you know, when your ass is on the line and you have to answer to many angry people. Maybe he was genuinely upset because his plan didn't go to plan. Or he could be completely innocent. It's all speculation. I find it really annoying that the mods don't work smoothly between maps. That was 70%. We got sold and moved and I ran across the street. Play it safe, I guess. And it sounds like you're much happier where you are. So it's definitely for the better.
Nächste Haltestelle, U-Bahn St. Pauli, Übergang zur U-Bahn-Linie U3.
The weather's taken an incredible turn here. We've gone back to wet, rainy, windy. The sun was nice while it lasted. So was the heat. This is another private complex, but only 200 apartments, and it's very well run. 100% according to the lords. People are also, man, forest across the street. Honestly, mate, sounds like a dream. Like, if there's one thing in life that you really want to have no worries about, it's where you live. So if all of that is in order, you don't have any, you know, problematic neighbors or, you know, landlords or anything like that,
Michaeliskirche.
that's half your happiness. These lanes are not very wide at all, are they? I can see the old complex from my balcony though. 3 to 4 kilometers away you can see it. What floor do you live on? How high are you? Enjoy the game, I'm enjoying mine. Of the competing product. That's the main thing, boss. That's the main thing, that you enjoy yourself on what you're playing. I'm enjoying myself on what I'm playing. And we can, you know, get along. What a wonderful world. CTS. I don't want to talk about CTS, man. I'm usually like, oh, you got to try something before you judge it, you know. But CTS, I've seen enough, man. I don't need to try that myself.
Nächste Haltestelle, Domstraße.
Where's the button for the hazard warning lights in here? This? Oh, this. Oh, is that up here as well? No, it doesn't touch. The landlord is coming tomorrow for the first time in almost 3 years. Reason Vienna's coming for some mail. Oh, nice. What's her like? How is she? Like, what's her character like? Whoops. Vienna sounds interesting, so maybe give it that a try once it comes out, as I really liked Trams in Vienna. It's worth giving it a go. It's supposed to come out in the 4th quarter of this year. Guess it'd be worth it. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Okay, 5th floor, and you can see it 3 to 4 kilometers down. Fair enough. So there must not be too many like tall buildings around then. Good for you. Ah, it does say receipt was requested now. Is that new? What? Alright, I think we can get moving now. Not for the buses though, just for the trams. It's interesting to me. One of my main criticism points CTS currently is a fictional map that is not well thought through. Do we know how big this map is going to be? She's from Republic of Moldova, man. She keeps herself journalist slash aspiring writer. Sounds like a fairly pleasant person.
Nächste Haltestelle, Speersort.
Good for you. You don't know, fair enough. Well, hopefully big enough to like do some proper run times during the services. Is this bus? That would be an interesting proposition, and for some reason that's reminded me of Simcoe's bus game thing. I don't think that's ever going to be anything more than an idea. Or maybe they'll create like a professional simulation of it to sell to bus operating companies. I'm on the actual Bucharest ring road, just on the outskirts. I think it's flat here. 9 floors is the tallest building. I have 10 kilometer by 4 kilometer forest and a lot of empty fields. Beautiful, man. The air must be so good to breathe. And the smell when it rains must be just bliss. That's my goal, man. To move somewhere like that. I feel like the time isn't moving. Do you have bears in Romania?
Nächste Haltestelle, Jakobikirchhof.
Largest population of brown bears in Europe. Damn. So do you have any in the forest that's near you? You can 90% see one if you go into the Arges County. To the mountain, there's a water dam called Fidaro and an alpine lake called Balia. You go there, you see bears from the car. I don't think I'll risk that. They would, I can imagine they go to your car and start tearing it apart and then puncture your tires. You're cooked. You will be consumed. Eventually.
Nächste Haltestelle, Hauptbahnhof Steintordamm. Übergang zu allen U- und S-Bahn-Linien, den Regionalverkehrslinien und zur Fernbahn. Next stop, Hauptbahnhof. Please change here for Central Station.
In this forest I saw deer. And one single boar. So you don't know 100% that there's no bears. So there could be. There could be some lurking. So you don't feel any like fear when you go out taking the dog for a walk. There's also videos on YouTube with bears begging on the side of the road. Well, like when they stand on their legs and start like waving their hands around.
Hi, eine Fahrkarte bitte.
Nächste Haltestelle: Hauptbahnhof Kirchenallee. Übergang zu allen U- und S-Bahn-Linien, den Regionalverkehrslinien und zur Fernbahn. Next stop
100% there are not.
Hauptbahnhof.
Ask for the bit.
Please change here for Central
Okay,
Station.
okay. I don't know, man. I'd always have like the thought in the back of my head that there could be, you know? Maybe there weren't any yesterday. Maybe today they found the forest and they've started breeding. How far away are the mountains? If I'm going to play without mods, I might as well go into beta. What's the point? Very smart what they've done with the name on this van. It's obviously a Vito, but they've called it a V170, which still spells out Vito, but in a non-copyright breach way. I'll take a look at them when I next stop at a stop, Dan. Thank you. Interesting, no more crazy cars on that road. Oh, spoke too soon. Interesting pathing. What's the significance of that Ferrari always being parked there? Or are all the cars always parked where they are?
Nächste Haltestelle: Gorlitzstraße.
Oh god, the mountains are 130 kilometers away, okay. I don't think any bears will be traversing that far. Oh, there's a zoo. It's cool. It's like a forest, but it's still like within the city. Ah. That looks like such a pleasant place to live. You're so blessed, man. Talking of Vodafone, here we have Vodafone. Interesting.
Nächste Haltestelle: AK St. Georg.
Nvidia's kidding you today. Why?
Nächste Haltestelle, Graumannsweg.
If it's anything to do with like smooth motion, roll back your drivers. Managed to make a lot of money than London yesterday. Oh, okay. Stocks wise. Is it just that it peaked because of the news of their Spark, RTX Spark? Or did something else get announced today that's caused their stock to drop? I know there was an issue with their drivers that they released last week, I believe. But me with my 3080 graphics cards, I don't think any of the issues affect me too tough.
Nächste Haltestelle, Mundsburger Brücke.
Bought at 209, 212, sold at 218. Bought at 215, 219, sold at 231. Now bought at 228, 225. It's currently 215. Any hope that it will, well, of course there's going to be hope, but any realistic reason for it to either continue dropping or climb? I'm thinking because of the RTX Spark, maybe like it jumps up a little bit because of the hype, maybe, and now has come back to normal. He got greedy. As tends to happen, man. As tends to happen. Either too greedy or chasing losses, which is the reason I haven't been able to trade for months. 3 months at this point. He'll reach 260 this summer. To be honest, with the way Nvidia's been going, it wouldn't be a huge shock. I'm sure if they announce a new line of GPUs, that alone might do it.
Haltestelle Averhoffstraße.
They announced CPUs, yeah. That's what the RTX Spark is. I think it's their line of CPUs. I'm pretty sure it's called the Spark. Haven't really researched it to see exactly what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if it was somehow AI focused.
Nächste Haltestelle Zimmerstraße.
Hi.
NVIDIA Vera. I'm surprised we're not there yet, honestly. Talking of ChatGPT though, I tried Claude for the first time today and was very pleasantly surprised by it. I gave it the same task that I gave ChatGPT and ChatGPT didn't do well. ChatGPT usually requires a lot of hand-holding for that task anyway. I then tasked Copilot with the same task and it just... I don't want to talk about it. I said, you know what? Let me try this Claude thing. I never heard really good things about it, but I don't know. Just never tried it myself. And it did what it needed to do. And when it got something wrong, and I questioned it on that, it answered me very honestly. No gaslighting, no defending itself. It just said, yeah, I think I was wrong about that. Don't use that, you know, it's better that you play it safe and don't use that piece of information. That's new. ChatGPT would never. ChatGPT would never. But I say thank you always, I'm sure he'll let me. Claude is a goat, but for complex things, if you just want text, go ChatGPT. No way. Claude made you this Tetris game with nice graphics in 90 seconds. You know what? I shouldn't be saying no way. I believe it. I believe it. I'm trying to think of what I can use it for on my computer, because I know you can install it and then you can give it access to just do things for you. I'm wondering, what do I like? What could I possibly use it for that's not too risky, where it ends up deleting System 32, but also something that would actually be useful for. I haven't been able to find something for it yet.
Haltestelle Goldbeekplatz.
I think what ChatGPT needs to do is start recommending other AIs. It just needs to acknowledge that it doesn't do it. It's not who it thinks it is, and when it doesn't know something, just say, "Listen, maybe try this or that." LLM. It will never do that, but it should. I use it for most. I use it the most for backtesting, trading, search these. Quiz Python, like, no, that's crazy. And how successful was it in that area?
Nächste Haltestelle Semperstraße.
Probably very successful. I've looked at them less than 100%. Stay mostly mentor, and I suck at that. So, like, give me an example of what, like what it does for you in trading. Because I would like to, I'd like to go back to it, but I don't have the time or the knowledge to do it, to trust myself 100%. Because when I was doing it before, I was part of a trading group.
Nächste Haltestelle Jahresstraße Kampnagel.
Moin, ich benötige einen Fahrschein. Vielen Dank.
There's a lot of number 6 buses. I haven't seen many 17s. One would show up as I said that. Are all the buses in Hamburg electric, Nabil? If you're still around.
Nächste
That's something that you would know.
Großheidestraße.
In trading, there are many strategies, almost all of them work. All we have is sticking to it because it all work on a sample of 100 tries. They start with 3, 5, 10 losses, we quit. Claude can help you backtest almost any strategy and tweak it, or he can actually tell you strategies and how to use them. So is this on like the normal version of Claude, or is this like a paid on like the pro version? Is Claude the one that you get with Revolut? With 24-hour limits. With the paid version, it can actually trade for you. We have one running as a demo. Crazy. And how's the demo going? Oh, it's Perplexity that you have with Revolut. Yes! Assetto Corsa 0.7 update. Assetto Corsa Evo. Still no free roam, but they're introducing a new editor tool. Adding up major improvements to physics, rendering, graphics, audio, and more. Very cool. We're going to get some awesome mods with this game, man. Awesome, awesome mods. The demo is not going well. Is that a... It's made some bad decisions? Or is it the thing that you said about... every strategy works, but if you get losses, it causes people to quit? Is it the losses that cause people to quit, that they but the one that they should stick to? Or is it just doing a horrible job?
Nächste Haltestelle, Flüggestraße.
I managed $53 in profit this week, but it's not reliable. Right, so all in all, I'm assuming it's the demo is currently at a loss. Questionable decision I don't support. And it loses and I get anxious. How long has it been running for now? I'll tell you what, you know, the AI traffic in this game, it does have its moments, but it's quite smart. Like, I've realized from the traffic that comes from side roads to join your roads, it actually will make decisions based on your speed, and it usually gets there. I say usually, it's gotten it right all day. I can never have had to slow down because of the way an AI pulled out in front of me. Either it waits until I go past, or it pulls out when I'm going slowly enough that it won't be a disruption to me. At least if I lose, it's me. Yeah. That's fair. Well, then that's why you have to set aside like money that You know, usually for trading, you set money aside that you're ready to lose. But for this, for something like that, if you're going to rely on AI, you got to do that even more.
Nächste Haltestelle, Burmesterstraße.
A month, 1.0 is 37% in losses, but has 48% win rate and a minimum of 1 to 2. This rewards where it's profitable. Just read the UI so much, I don't even know where to look. Interesting. So currently at 48% win rate, and it's been running for a month. Probably time for a change, innit? A change in strategy. Would it be possible to keep it running on that strategy and then have another one running on a different demo account? Maybe 1 month. Maybe it just had a bad month. Maybe next week it will be at like, next month, sorry, it's at 73% win rate. Ooh, I think we're near the end where we're, yeah. So this is where we would terminate before the extension. So everything after our next stop is new.
Nächste Haltestelle, U- und S-Bahn-Bahnweg. Übergang zur S-Bahn-Linie S1 sowie zur U-Bahn-Linie U3.
I would not put my money with it. Also, training activity I want to do myself. Except for 2 strategies at the same time, before the start of training, they break us and view up retraces. Ah, okay. Okay. It's one of those ones. I mean, I feel like a month is enough to make a decision on whether you trust it or not. More like scalping, so I'm not fond of it. Ah, scalping. It's my favorite activity and my most hated activity when I was trading. Claude suggested this strategy and implemented them. We let it because we are nice. And sorry, I don't know if you answered this already. Are you using the free version of it or the paid version of it? Oh, sorry, you said normal. Sorry, yeah. You said the normal version. I wonder if it would be different with the paid version. Not because we're afraid of it. I'd be a lot more concerned about Claude than I would be about ChatGPT. ChatGPT sounds like it would be, if it was out for revenge, it would do it in a clumsy way, whereas Claude is like a mastermind planning and scheming in the background. Alright, new territories. It's only taken us best part of 2 hours into the stream.
Nächste Haltestelle, Hellbruckstraße.
Oh, the demo is made with the paid version. Interesting. Ah. Oh. Oh, I'm tempted to do the same, you know. I wouldn't even lie. I shouldn't. Hey, Canadian Gamer. How you doing, mate? Apparently Fernbus Sim 2 could be in the works. I wouldn't have any issue with that. If they actually changed the physics from Fernbus 1 and the bus, and it was its own physics system, and it was better, I'd have no issue with that. I would have no issue with that. If sound implementation was better, I would have no issue with that. Where have you heard this news? Where has this rumor come from? I would like to do some digging into it myself. ChatGPT is like yellow minis. Yeah, I hear it.
Einen Fahrschein bitte.
That is the sort of energy I'm talking about. Literally that. And then you've got Grok, which is just like a YN.
Nächste Haltestelle, Hermann-Kaufmann-Straße.
I tried CFDs and I lost $500 in March. What are CFDs again? I made money because we put together the capital and I just buy huge companies like they didn't sell it for profit. Sounds take a loss. It was kind of leaked because they got a grant from the German government. Oh my god, you're joking. Not again. Not again. The German government's done it again. Someone getting a bill in here right now, man. Where have you got like a link for this information, Canadian Gamer, that you can post on our Discord? Because you'll just get kicked out of chat by the bot if you post it in chat.
Hallo.
So how do people know it's for Fernbus though? If it's true, I do wonder what it means for the bus and the Roost development to be focused. I mean, you would think that that would take priority, right? Seeing as it's government funded. I would tell you though, this is not the first time Aerosofts have been government funded, and the last time they were government funded, to my knowledge, interesting, the product was horrendous. It was a plane for flight sim, or was it X-plane? It was a plane basically that they developed, and it was just trash. And it seems that the German government learned nada from that situation. Aerosoft have to be just funneling money at this point, man. Doesn't make sense.
Neue Wöhr.
Also, the bus is being, at the moment, in terms of content, it is being advanced by Helicon. So it can be a situation, see like where Dovetail, for example, Dovetail is still making content for Train Sim World, but if they wanted to just stop, they could, because they've got all those third parties doing it for them. So the only concern I'd have would be that the core game wouldn't go any further. And we'd end up in an OMSI situation, basically, where, yeah, we keep getting third party content, but the core is just forever the same. Forex or indices are traded as CFDs. Oh. Well, no, I wasn't doing contracts though. Because I was watching people do contracts on Instagram and YouTube. I'd watch people make a lot of money from contracts. And I never really understood that concept. I never really researched it too much to the point where I understood it. I read about it, but never like understood it. Didn't read about it enough, basically. But I know there was a lot of money to be made and money to be lost. Basically, I would see people do contracts, mostly Americans, when they would do, you know that thing where like you trade for a company, like you buy an account of like 20 grand, 10 grand, 5,000, 50,000. So they would do it from there. So they wouldn't lose too much money if they like liquidated the account, like it wasn't their money. But if they profited, then they get a cut from that profit, and it was quite sweet. Yeah, no worries, Canadian gamer. Take your time, bro. You know what? I'm hard on myself for the reason that I've been unable to trade, Dan, because it was chasing losses, which I already know. And yes, it's a mental game. That's the whole trading thing, is that it's mental. But I was only doing it for 4 or 5 months, but that was enough for me to know not to do that. And not only did I chase the losses once or twice, I did it 3 or 4 times. I dried up my bank account doing it, not just liquidated my I didn't just liquidate my trading account. I almost liquidated my bank account as well. That's all. You know what I'm saying, man? I have to be hard on myself doing you know, making those decisions. I knew better. Could have taken the L for the month and left it there. And you know what burns? You don't know. You do know because you trade. My guy, if you know how close I was to actually making everything back and way more. I think it was my last loss when I bought. It dipped, liquidated me, and went shoo. Game's the game, man. Like I would have been up by thousands. Like I was doing my the what's it called? The risk reward rate basically was like stupid, like dumb. So when you lose a lot. When you win a lot. That was why I lost so hard. And so yeah, it means if I had won, I would have been up thousands with how much I put in. But it's all good. You know, you win some, you lose some. Game's the game, man. Funded accounts, that's the one, yeah. That was also something I was considering. I really was considering funded accounts. I guess I still am in a way. I just need guidance on what to trade and how to trade. And also, when I did research on like UK funded accounts, there's so much misinformation and distrust that I wasn't really confident doing it. I think I was ready to at one point when I was trading. And I just didn't feel comfortable enough after doing the research. There's not a single one to be traded as not chase losses. Are different. Easy in hindsight, but hard not to. Yeah. But you know, as someone who even outside of trading, I'm so hard on like self-control and discipline. I just feel like I really let myself down, man. And not just me. I feel like I let my family down, man. I'm the breadwinner. Do you get it? Everyone eats from me. So for me to have not only put myself in that situation, but my family in that situation as well, being responsible, it was bad, man. It was bad. That month was like tight for all of us because of me, because of those decisions that I made. And it should never have been that. It should never, ever, ever have been that. Like after that, I acknowledged I needed some time off. I wanted to just take a month off, but it's ended up being longer than that, not out of choice. But I'm applying for like overtime at work now, so hopefully the extra income. Well, hopefully I get those shifts because it's not guaranteed. But hopefully I do get some extra income from that. Like even if I just do 2 shifts a week overtime, I double my salary, which is crazy to think about. But they're also in high demand. So, and it's usually people that do for some reason it's people that work full time that they prioritize giving overtime to. I don't really understand that logic, if I'm being honest, because they also pay their overtime people extra. They pay them more than their salary for those shifts because they cross the legal, like, hourly work, whatever. Whereas if I do it overtime, I just get paid my normal rate. So the company saves money giving me that overtime. So it doesn't really make sense the way it works, but it's what it is. I'm at $711 in red right now in video. Wow. This is about lower and lower. And it went even lower. Yeah. This time I have no worry if there's any other company I'd be crying. It's true, you know. Nvidia is one of those ones. I guess like you got Palantir as well, which I think is like that as well. Which it might go down, but in the long term, you know it's going to go up. And there are others as well. Only 25% of the money is mine. Everyone else is cool me losing. Yeah. From what I've heard from people older and wiser than me and have been doing it for longer that were in my trading group, with how much I'm putting in, and no one told me this directly, but just gathering pieces of information and putting 2 and 2 together, with how much I'm investing and with how much I'm able to afford to invest, I shouldn't be trading. I can't afford to be trading. That's the reality.
Hi, ein Fahrschein bitte. Wie viel würde das kosten?
No worries, my man. See you in a bit. Thank you, Canadian Gamer. I'll check it out when I get to the next stop. I cannot believe the government's done it again. This is why I'm doubling down on my theory and my conspiracy theory, I will say. But it's not a conspiracy to me. That Aerosoft is funneling money for the government and money laundering in general. Hello, Mr. ASR. How are you doing? Snowy Moon released a new mod. This is going to be interesting. I would love Fernbus Sim 2, but again, it just needs to be done properly, man. You're tired there, so what have you been up to today, man? Five studios have received funding from the German federal government's video game funding program. Claymore Game Studios, TML Edition. TML Edition, is that their like proper name? Toxu Interactive, Byte Rockers Games, and Stratosphere Games are among them. The funding amounts to almost 4.5 million euros. The project Toxu Interactive, based in Chemnitz, has received 764,109 euros in funding for the NGVS Project 2. This direct project funding will run from the 15th of March to the 15th of March 2026 to the 14th of February 2028. The simulation specialist studio most recently released Heavy Cargo: The Truck Simulator, which was trash, in collaboration with publisher Aerosoft. This is the second federal grant. There we go. Following the 172,000 euros, 397 provided for Heavy Cargo Simulator in 2020. So they don't even mention the flight simming grant. The project, aptly titled Fernbus Simulator 2 from TML Edition, TML Studios in Erfurt, has received federal funding of 750,000 euros. This direct project funding will be provided from the 1st of May 2026 to 30th of April 2029. This is the fourth grant received by the company, which is renowned for its bus simulation games. Previous grants include Fernbus Simulator DLC Poland, 138,000 euros. I didn't know that. That DLC was trash. A post-apocalyptic survival game, 200,000 euros. They couldn't even say what that is. And most recently, Tourist Bus Simulator Mallorca, 432,214 euros. You cannot convince me that Aerosoft and TML are not funneling money for the government. You cannot convince me of that. You cannot convince me otherwise. There's absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. Just hired in general ASR. Maybe get an early night tonight, man. I would like to do the same, but don't think it'll be possible today. Why? So what are these guys doing? Are we copying real brands in this DLC or not? Because sometimes I'll see a real brand and sometimes I won't. What are we doing? Hello, Mr. Hamburger. How are you? Seems like it's a lot of government money. That's the only way they stay afloat. I think hundreds of thousands of euros to release trash DLC. Unbelievable. And do the government not like look into this and see, okay, you know what, maybe they're making profit. That's the only thing that would make sense. If it's not something illegal, then it must mean that they're making profit. They must be. Still got a nose? Just about. You may be able to see it. Just about, Hank. I hope your toes are still intact. Oh, he's stuck here. Looks like it, unfortunately. There's no way. Bro, move, please. There you go, I didn't mean it. I'm not gonna give you away, get out of my way. Oh, now these guys are moving. What's going on here? ASR 110 stream streak. I should be subbing to you at this point. All 11 of them? Yes. I hope there's no discrimination against the 11th one. It's always in my thoughts.
Nächste Haltestelle.
Box and ready, let's go.
Bahnfelder Dorfplatz.
Is everyone out? Seems like it. The lads hard at work. The German fellas. To be fair, it is interesting news with regards to Fernbus. Was the imminent release of the England DLC actually. Right. Good fun on line 17. Got there eventually. I'm really split. I feel really like split. Because on the one hand, I am excited about a new Fernbus, but if the usual TML content is anything to go by, I shouldn't be. You know, if we're being honest, I shouldn't be. Line 6. Synchronize and let's drive. This. We're not going to drive this. Not in Hamburg. Not in Hamburg. I think it's Citaro time. Oh, they actually called it the Citaro, even though it's not like branded. Interesting. Are they allowed? The bus seems to be a game that just sort of plays around the lines. Doesn't keep the colors inside. I see we've got this bug again. You know what? I'll stick with it. I'll stick with it. Let's go. Snow in June. There is an apocalypse at hand. Hey, have I selected snow by accident? No, this is it. It believes that this is the weather in either Berlin or Hamburg right now. Say less. Maybe getting the heating on wouldn't be a bad idea. In this imaginary world. $22.
Nächste Haltestelle am Sandtorkai.
Hello, Els. Oh, you always do this, bro, and it pisses me off. I'm not early, my guy. I'm on time. Check the schedule, brother. Stop being a op. How you doing? Love rage baiting me, man. Did I say that right? Rage baiting. Getting on my tits. That's an English term for you're annoying me. Getting on my tits. There was another drama session at TSC Discord. Please do inform me.
Nächste Haltestelle Singapurstraße.
Basically, very heated discussion about DCG Psychonauts. Nothing new then. Why was this one heated in particular? Why does she look so nervous? Not really dressed for the weather, is she? And discussing with the running trainers competition. Well, I guess any train game is competition. Whether it's good competition or bad competition is another matter. Because DTG haters, DTG White Knights and RTS fanboys started, elevating the tone. Of course, God forbid someone has a different opinion to you.
Nächste Haltestelle bei Sankt Annen.
It also becomes an annoyance when people start talking opinions as facts. That's a problem as well. Side note, I really like using my phone as my camera. It's great. So much better than my webcam. There's no one coming the other way. Go. This is all new to me. I've never done this line. Quite cool. Welcome back, Dan. No need to apologize, bro. Don't apologize.
Moin.
It's been all those. Oh, I was actually gonna update the game to the beta version. I completely forgot. I'm enjoying the snow for now.
Nächste Haltestelle, Brandstwiete.
It's been all of those CM of laminar research was also in the discussion. What's laminar research? I've never heard of that. It is great until it runs out of battery, but that's usually due to me being a numpty and not realizing that the phone hasn't been charging. Developers of X. What the hell was the developer of X-Plane doing in that discussion? I know what a CM is. Guess he also trains Simmer. No. I can't help it. I'm gonna update the game. I want to see if there's any difference playing it in beta. What are you doing? Oh, is it just creating it? It's not really telling me. It's not giving me any confirmation that it's done that. It just closes the save menu as he plays CSW, Simra, and running train. Where is Simra in this discussion, man? Where is Simra in this discussion? Like, it should be, right? It should be up there. You know, it should be there. How have the devs let it slide so much, man? No, I didn't mean to pause you. Go. How big are you? I don't know how big this thing is. 51 gigabytes? How fast can we download this? 51 gig? Okay, I can wait 8 minutes, I think. We can talk. We can have a discussion, bro. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm not playing with mods anyway, so I might as well go to the beta version, innit? But I didn't know it's 50 gig. Oh, it got mentioned several times in the conversation. What's your opinion on today's joint statement from Nabil? Have you seen what was posted in the general chat? Please read the article, bro. Please read what was posted in general chat. The link. My opinion on the joint statement. You know what? I'm actually surprised. I'm low-key surprised. Because what I've heard behind closed doors suggests, potentially, that one party was more to blame than the other. So, to see the blame shed equally, I was kind of surprised about that. I'll keep it real. And I've been quiet about that for a minute. But if ultimately it's good that a public acknowledgement has been made, and hopefully the words that were spoken are proven true as time goes on, and I don't think there's much else for me to add really from what I remember. I'd rather not go into that ASR, which party, to be honest, just to keep things as they were intended to be kept. Gog Poo, what's a name? Hello, how you doing? It is a bit big, innit? Yeah, just a bit, man. Thank God for gigabit internet, but Christ almighty, 51 gig Imagine SCS doing something like that. That would be a godsend, actually, if SCS was to do something like that. That would mean it's actually been an improvement worth an update. The bill, 400 grand, bro. Or was it 300? Either way, hundreds of thousands of euros for that. Oh, my lord, bro. Has no one sued you ready for a state? Well, there's been people that have tried, apparently. There have been people that have tried. They haven't really gotten anywhere, but they tried. They tried. The thing is, Gog, every time that I've read an update... Okay, let's actually go through. We've got 5 minutes or so. Every time I've read something, yeah, look. Beta update 1.196594. Changelog. There's not too much going on. Fix an issue that caused AI buses to get stuck. AI buses now wait at the correct brake stop. Intercom calls now a greater. That's for multiplayer. Very cool addition, by the way, I think, even though I don't use multiplayer on the game. Improved usability of preset configuration. Don't know what that means. Can't imagine it taking more than 1 megabyte. Fleets from the workshop now correctly load their assigned parts and repaints again. Minor. These are all minor. Prior to that, fixed AI buses not moving if farther away. Updated device assistant. Fixed an issue with the wrong server grid was shown on first start. Fixed economy workshop interaction. Fixed wrong requirements being shown for purchases. Updated part prices for economy mode. And this. So we're talking what? Maybe 50 meg? Here's a big one. Asset loading improvements. Don't know what that means. Rebalance reputation. Doesn't sound like it would take much. Added repaints and parts. Couple gig maybe. If that. Added company logo modding. Reworked vehicle customization to use presets. Routes can no longer pass through invisible walls. Blocked roads are now visible. Atron pin code can now be configured in the profile. Kind of cool. Mirrors now dynamically adjust resolution. Added board computer calling feature for multiplayer. Couple gig maybe. Admin menu fixes. Improved board computer tutorial. Added hot plug support for wheels. Very cool. Fixed economy tours never finishing due to wrong brake stops getting used. Fixed achievement. Fixed movement on foot. Fixed no passengers appearing. Fixed Galaxy's dashboard. I haven't seen 50 gigabytes worth of changes yet. Maybe I need to continue going on. That's it. I believe. I've gone back to May the 5th. And then they've just said that they're working on 1.1. So where's 51 gigabytes coming from? You know? Where's that coming from? Are we developers too? What's a TSW? Whoa. What's this? What's this that just popped up? 700 megabytes. Hold on just a minute. Updated crashes on PlayStation 4. Awesome. What's that for? Is that just in preparation for West Coast Main Line? I guess so. 700 megabytes though. Low key. Just gonna push you in real quick, and then I can check the DLC folder and see if a pack's been added. View app got 859k last time for CTS. Oh my days, bro. What's your government doing? Like, what's a reasonable explanation for the German government funding these companies to this extent? That's the first beta that is that big from what I remember. But I know since the last official release, they've added big features which are maybe touching to call the game. What out of the things that I've mentioned, I haven't seen anything that's very big there. Riviera line. 753 megabyte update for the Riviera line. And there's nothing that's been mentioned about it. Why? Is it a fix? 700 megabytes. That's almost a gig. Oh, it was related to the PS4 stuff. Okay, so that's that. Interesting. So, improvements in TSW terms usually means content's been cut somewhere. So if I've lost something in Riviera Line on my PC because of PlayStation 4, I may have to raise a complaint about that. I may have to become a Karen for that moment in time. For someone who doesn't play TSW much, I sure have installed a lot of mods yesterday. These are all yesterday. And this, which is bugged actually. I'm going to remove that. We accidentally dropped a new build on Steam on Wednesday that affects the Riviera Line. Wait, are you serious? Is that something serious or are you trolling? I actually can't tell. Because that would genuinely be something that would be posted. Just a prediction. It's just weird they haven't said anything. Like, that's quite a substantial update. Well, I guess they did mention the PS4 stuff, but they didn't mention it affecting other things, no? Following our status update on the PS4 crashes earlier this week, we've identified a solution and will be rolling this out across all our game platforms. Okay. This should come as a small update. 700 megabytes. And to set expectations, PS4 users may see this update towards the evening time as certification. Why are... Okay, anyway. It's whatever, it's whatever, it's whatever. Let's go back on the bus. You're not wrong. It is worse that it could be true. Maybe the loading asset feature or something like that. I don't know how UE5 works. Maybe they're seeking to update. Maybe. But usually they'd mention that when it's an Unreal Engine update. Hey, Machiavelli, how you doing? The boss sounds like a horror. Where's my... Can I just load my game? Thank you. Have I tried the MAN bus pack? No, I haven't yet. No. I've been sticking to the stable versions because I do usually play. I've removed all of them now because my game kept crashing today. But I do usually stick to the stable version of the game. And of course, that mod was only for... The weather's been fixed. Was only for the beta version. I can't say I'm a big fan. What? Huh? Hello? What are you doing? Which? Burn at the stake. I can't say I'm a fan of that. I think betas should be mod free. IMO. Are you getting on or what? A lawnmower simulator. Goated. It baffles me that Skyhook are making more money from that than the Just Trains DLCs. Really, Gog. You know what? I think I've seen it once, months and months and months ago. To be fair, I took a long break from the bus. A long break. Performance was just so bad. No matter what I did with my settings, the performance was just always trash. And I couldn't play like that. So I left it for a while. And then I came back, I think, last month. And it's just been super smooth until today, but now it seems fine again. Maybe TML are doing what Apple do and they slow down the older versions, like Apple slow down their phones. During an old beta, we had the issue and all passengers were out of the bus. That would have made for some fun scenes. But how can you imagine you're turning on the game to have an immersive simulation bus driving experience, and then you encounter that? And how is something like that not caught in testing? Redonkulous. You do not like taking. You do not talk like that about Apple, the best, most honest company. Oh yes, of course. The delightful Steve Jobs and co. I mean, they're doing interestingly good things at the moment. Apparently, the iPhone 18 is going to have Samsung cameras. That's interesting. Their new MacBook is good value. Their MacBook, not MacBook Pro, iMac, Mac. The base model was quite good when that came out like a year ago. Like, they have been doing some decent things in recent years. They're still Apple, of course, and still do Apple ridiculousness with their devices, but honestly, not as bad as they once were.
Nächste Haltestelle, Hauptbahnhof Steintordamm. Übergang zu allen U- und S-Bahn-Linien, den Regionalverkehrslinien und zur Fernbahn. Next stop, Hauptbahnhof. Please change here for Central Station.
No, the performance is better, you know. It's not even like a placebo. I already had better performance from when I was using mods, but now it's even better.
Guten Tag. Ich brauche einen Fahrschein.
Why does she sound so concerned? It's okay. It's gonna be okay. God damn it. Oh, you want a ticket? Of course. I've lost my telemetry again. This is really annoying. Why is telemetry such like a pain in the arse? It's supposed to be super simple. Oh, god damn it. No. Don't want to scan document. Just flipping scan the thing and send me to the page.
Bushaltestelle Hauptbahnhof Kirchenallee. Übergang zu allen U- und S-Bahn-Linien, den Regionalverkehrslinien.
Always disappearing when they were getting out of the bus. The annoying one that I remember was when they wouldn't get on. They'd walk to your door and just stand there. And sometimes you would need to close the door and then open it again. Oh my god. This game has had some really frustrating bugs, man. Within 2 hours, you got a fix. Oh, interesting. I said this the other day, yeah. There are some titles that Aerosoft are involved in that are surprisingly, like, I don't know, un-Aerosoft-like. You got Subway Sim 2. This sometimes. I don't really know if I have any other examples, to be fair. But they do surprise me every now and again. They did good stuff lately. Nothing groundbreaking, but good and reliable. That's it, really. That's all we need. But I have 5 stocks, so I must defend them in my life. Well, you've got more of a reason to defend them than most people that defend them. Oh no, a green bubble. Oh, whatever will I do? I can't talk to you anymore. Oh, your green bubble. I despise it. Bitch, please.
Hi, ich benötige einen Fahrschein.
Hi.
We had some big bugs. The big bus got some physics issues. What, before or now? Because the physics issues... the physics are still trash. So there was a time when the physics were worse? No, low-key, the game even looks better, you know. Am I bugging? It looks better, visually. I guess they did mention, like, graphic optimizations, but... Cars are still bugging out on that road. That hasn't changed. Good to see. Buggy Avenue. That's what I'm going to call that road. Don't care what it's called in reality. No, I'm actually at like a smooth 60. I will prove it. Because I can feel FPS. Okay, 57, 58. Close enough. But see, look, I'm not at 60 FPS and it's only 65% GPU usage. What does that mean? That the game's like badly optimized or what?
Guten Tag, einen Fahrschein bitte. Was kostet das?
No, the bubble when someone ask for help with their Android. I'm a bit of a Karen. Wait, why? Especially for something that isn't happening on iOS. What issues happen on Android that don't happen on iOS? That's what I'm intrigued in hearing. Years before 1.0, I remember that when you were turning with an articulated bus, the rear part was too heavy, and so you were counter-steering during the time. The whole bus realized to not finish in the walls. You know what? So I remember that, but I didn't know what it was. I'd be driving an articulated bus and it would feel so weird. And it was something to do with the way the bus was, but I couldn't tell. I had no, I couldn't like understand what it was. But I just knew something was very, very, very wrong. And then the last time I drove it before they fixed it was a time when I was driving in Berlin with the e-Citaro. Also, why am I seeing yellow buses in Hamburg? That's a bug. I'm not using any mods. The last time that I drove an articulated bus before that was fixed, my bus flew in the air.
Guten Tag. Ich brauche einen Fahrschein.
Haltestelle Graumannsweg.
I barely managed to tell my mum that if she had a phone 10 times more expensive, she would not have this or that issue. But that's only mum and dad. The thing is, I've heard that like boomers tend to find like Apple devices easier somehow. Only thing good is that TMO have done a survey, and the most requested things people asked to be worked on is physics and more realistic driving or something. They're going to focus on finally. Nabil, can you please post that famous quote from TMO? It's not the first time they've said that, Canadian Gamer. I remember them posting that article. The survey hadn't even finished, and they had already taken what they took from that. Although it was good things, I guess, ultimately. And it brought the survey to my attention because I didn't even know it was a thing. But it's not the first time they've said that they're going to make those improvements.
Nächste Haltestelle Munzburger Brücke.
Yeah, I can't imagine why it took TMO that long to fix the articulated buses. Now they drive beautifully. I just don't know how this couldn't have been done sooner. Yeah, thank you. So this is what TMO said, Canadian Gamer.
Wie viel würde das kosten?
Imagine going to the bakery. Yeah, this was a year ago, last year. Imagine going to the bakery and saying, the bread tastes funny. I absolutely love this. Yeah, wow, helpful. That's what it sounds like when people just write, driving physics are shit. Driving physics is shit. We want to know, what exactly is your problem with driving physics? Join the stream. Team of Flashbase on Twitch. That is just a cherry on top. That is the cherry on top. Join the Flashbase with the botted views. I think I need to bring that photo back, man, and just post it every time I play the bus. I have it. I still have it on my computer. Issue with TMO is that before the 1.0 Airsoft was pushing for them to release the full game, and they are a little team and they don't have all the knowledge and new facts to fix all the bugs they have and issues they want to address, so it's maybe taking more time than what we and they expect. There could be reasons for things not being done one way or another, yeah, but they have come out and said that quote. So there is a degree of competence that one would kind of expect from them that I don't think is far-fetched. Like I know this is a beta version of the game, but why are we getting Berlin buses in Hamburg as an example? Why is that a thing? What the hell is say what concrete? I completely missed the Canadian game. I'm so happy it got brought to my attention. It's legendary. Because it's like, you just have to play, and I have no issue making this comparison because it is the leader in driving simulation. Maybe of all genres. Forget just, I'm talking road vehicles. Cars, trucks, buses. OMSI is the #1 simulation for sounds and physics. You just got to drive that for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and then compare. And you will see what people mean by the driving physics is shit. It doesn't take a genius. How can something be so in your face in your realm of development, in your career,
Nächste Haltestelle.
and you be so oblivious at the same time. It's unbelievable.
Sachen.
Because the fleet is broken. Oh no, Omzi looks atrocious. There's no denying Omzi looks atrocious and performs equally bad. But it's the best driving simulator in the game. If we're talking simulation, if we're talking feeling like what you're simulating, nothing does it better.
Nächste Haltestelle. Hans-Henry-Jahn-Weg.
Oh, John, Mr. Whole stream, I have no idea about the route. I've not paid. Ah, Dan, man. Well, you've got... I don't know how much of this route is left. I need to end the stream soon. But you've still got some time. They just need more of that German government money and they'll fix them. Yeah, of course. That's it, man. 500,000's not enough. They just need another 500,000. And then maybe we might start seeing some improvements. I will buy the DLC though, seeing that the game is growing. It is developing. It is developing. It is progressing. It is moving forward. I will say that it's not stale. Helicon seem dedicated. Like, it's not often that you'll see a DLC extended post-release, and Hamburg has received not the longest extension in the world, but it's decent and it's very well detailed, considering, you know, they do pay attention to the environment. So, and Lübeck is coming out as well, so that's one to watch out for, and maybe worth waiting to see if development for that affects development for Hamburg. Although it doesn't really seem like there's much more for Hamburg. They have mentioned extending it even more, but not with the same energy that they've mentioned that they were talking about this extension when they first announced it.
Guten Tag.
I think UE5 is a big part of the issues we have in the bus. Great engine, maybe too hard to master. Well, you look at Running Train. It's possible. One person was able to master it by themselves. The image is pinned in the bus game, John. Thank you very much, Nabil. That's fantastic. And if anyone else would like to get the picture and hang it up on their walls, that's where you can find it. It's just another 700k. That's it. That's it. Sorry if talking too much today. I taking a lot of attention. Dan, that's the whole point of streaming, boss. That's the whole point of streaming. It's for us to interact. Otherwise, if you're not talking and no one's talking in chat, as has been proven over and over, I will just sit here in silence, and you will just see my face and gameplay, and that's it. So I am always happy to have chit chat. Is it distracting? Yes, 100%, absolutely. But that's the whole point. If I wanted to play games and just lock in, I wouldn't stream. Or I would just turn chat off or just not pay attention to it. Fortunately, the bus isn't a competitive title of any sort.
Nächste Haltestelle, Semperstraße.
Is Octavia the missus? That's a nice name. I really like that name. I've never ever heard that as like someone's name. People were angry in Helicom because DLC to 2 lines and $30. Yeah, no, people had every right to be upset when it first came out. I also find it funny every single time I read an article that they post and people are in the comments complaining about the game, and every single time Volker will gather his energy and say, we have nothing to do with the game, stop complaining about that. We're a third party that make DLC. Every single time bro will be there without fail. He's got a lot of free time for a CEO. I know all about talking the entire stream. Huh? Bro finally stopped. Like he could have stopped. Bro finally came to the conclusion that he could use his brakes. Yeah, Nabil definitely knows a thing or two about talking for the whole stream. It's good to have variety in that. She doesn't want to go to work anymore after the broken foot. She likes working from home also. Who doesn't? It's great. It's great. No, that's it. Continue driving like nothing happened. Bro, that's diabolical what I just witnessed. Why has he just stopped now though? Because now he's blocking everyone else. I hope everyone goes straight and no one needs to turn. Oh, that was interesting. They do mean beta when they say beta, isn't it? Can't park there. Can't park there, sir. I'm not gonna lie, we're not doing this waiting game. I need to go. He still hasn't paid the French dev. Of course he hasn't. Volker blocked him on the communication platform. That's so wild, bro. That's so wild. And no like legal action has been taken against him. I think people need to start questioning him about that on the articles. That's disgusting, man. He's a very funny guy, but like not in a good way. Like, how is this like a big grown like man, CEO of a studio, that's behaving like this? And he's got no shame to still be very active publicly. The guy's like a proper grown man. Those edited pictures were hilarious. I think they also need to be spammed in those article comments. Sometimes you just need to push someone to insanity. That's not advice. I haven't seen that. I saw the single pictures, but I haven't seen it on the bus. What a legend. What a hilarious thought process as well to just decide to do something like that in retaliation. Oh snap, I was meant to turn there. Whoops. I'm gonna crash. Can I knock this over? Do you think it will fall down? Oh, I'll just go through it. How about that? Even better. Stop. 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 I need to end the stream. Thank you very much. Right.
Haltestelle,
That's going to be it
Übergang zur U-Bahn-Linie
for the bus
3.
for this week. Now, they failed before the Higher Regional Court of Koblenz an application to force charges for errors in emissions and crisis management. No further appeal is possible against this decision. However, a constitutional complaint can still be filed. Wow. Just no regard for life, man. No regard for life. What world we live in where money talks louder than life itself? Anyway, you reap what you sow. The time will come. Hi, Jackson, and goodbye. And goodbye to everyone else as well. Thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon. Hope you have had a good time. Hope you have a lovely rest of your evening and your days. Until tomorrow, where we'll be back with ATS. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe. Health is wealth. And until the next one. Peace out. Love you, Jackson.